anything that can be done to help in preparation of your October 9th, I guess, meeting that you're having with the council? Is what can
Uh, right now, it's mostly up to them. You know what they vote. You know, you can show up and support at the Clark County Government Center. You can voice your opinion as long as you live within the bounds of Clark County.
So all of Clark
Uh,
County, it doesn't have to just be Charlestown.
no, it can be all of Clark County.
And that meeting is when?
October 9th at 5 p.m. at the
At
Clark
the
County
Government Center in
Yes.
Clark County.
Yep.
Okay.
Room 103. And it's, you know, right now it's up to them. Like my lawyer stated in the meeting, you know, if we don't get it, I will continue to run to the capacity that I'm running now. You know, it just limits what I can do for the guys. You know,
It
so
just sounds like it's
hopefully
in everybody's best interest for this to go through. I mean, from everything that you're telling us, not just yours, but the community, the people that live next to the home, and the guys that you're trying to help.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are here now, the people that live directly adjacent to the homes, you know, they have helped them. You know, with my guys, weed eat the neighbor's ditch line. We keep the property up. They're quiet. We haven't had no incidents. We haven't had no issues. These are just guys trying to live. You know, it's not, nobody's here to attack anybody. You know what I mean? We're just looking for a place to live. You know?
Well, and it doesn't sound like they have time for mischief, because that is everything that you've told us. And Abraham, I mean, it's literally restarting your life. I've been there myself. That is so time consuming. You don't have time to think of anything else. I mean, the things that you have said, from just basic daily tasks that people do to things you take for granted, with actually having a license and having your car registered and knowing how to do a bank account. And yeah, there's just so much involved in that.
Yeah, recovery is very much a pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of event, you know.
But with a lot of support. I mean, because that's what I hear from you. I have a nephew who went through recovery a couple years ago. If he didn't, he probably wouldn't be with us. And that, like you said, this touches a lot of people. My daughters, I just talked to them before this meeting because I knew that they had several friends that have passed since high school. Now, my oldest daughter is 31, I think. She told me they've had 11 friends die. So my kids are between the ages of like 26 and 31, and they're still dying from drugs and addiction and overdose. So this is a significant need. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and share your story. And I'm hoping we could get some people to come out there and pack the room like they do when it's a solar meeting. They pack that room. The power of the people really can do a lot. Right, Michelle?
Yeah, I was just wondering, have you done like a petition or had something that the neighbors in the community have signed and to support you guys?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, we sent letters out to the surrounding neighbors, letting them know about the meeting. You have to do that when you do zoning. I've spoke to all of them, the ones that we have to send letters out to in person. I've reached out through Facebook and put my information out there to anybody in the local community or has access to that group chat that the information about the house was in, that if they want to get a hold of me and talk in person or over the phone, I was up to it. Me and my lawyer set out a Zoom meeting for anybody that wanted to call and express concerns. Prior to the last meeting, nobody attended it. So, you know, that's about all I can do is reach out and say, hey, you know, if you have questions or you have concerns and you want to discuss them, I'm here. We either have found that we get met with the utmost acceptance, or we don't want nothing to do with you at all. It's one of the two. It's either the far end or the other. There's been no middle yet. I'm hoping that as the guys are here and there's not a problem, more people open up and are more accepting. You know, it takes time sometimes, you know, people's minds don't change overnight, you know, and the bad thing about being in recovery or being an addict is that the hardest thing to build is reputation, and the hardest thing to get rid of is reputation. But the
And those
only
are,
way,
and your recovery precedes your name, right? That's what people are going to know about you, that you know, either have been, or, you know, you are in recovery. Well, I guess you are in recovery. You know, do you know if there's any neighbors that would be willing, maybe not a petition, but like a statement of, I don't
Support,
know what the term would be, huh,
a statement,
Michelle?
a statement of,
Yeah, it's like a statement
Yeah.
of support in your neighborhood, because
a couple of the neighbors have sent in letters of support. I have a couple more neighbors that are willing to send in letters of
okay,
support. So, you know, I'm optimistic about the meeting. You know, I'm optimistic that it'll go well, you know, because like you were saying, when we were in that meeting, you know, even members of the board have expressed that this is something that directs them, affects them directly. You know, recovery or addiction today is ingrained in the society we live in. It just is what it is. You know, like we were talking about, 37% of people that are under age or used a Schedule I narcotic.
Yeah.
You know, it's something like 40% of people seek out treatment every year. You know, it's a very high number.
right.
You know, we're down 3% from addiction deaths in 2022, and it was 111,000. 3% means we're at 107. We are not winning.
No, and this is, I mean, I have 3 counties in my district that I'm running for state representative. Scott County is one of them, Scottsburg. You know, this is a significant issue in every area that I go to. And I guess, you know, we talked about why should we help people. The thing is, not helping people comes at a cost too, because, you know, Scott County, that has a significant issue as well with recovery, that they are last in the state with health outcomes. And so it does affect people, it affects the community, and it affects the reputation of the community. And people are going to be in recovery no matter what. And hopefully Clark County can have a reputation, which I think they do somewhat of being a very supportive community. You know, but again, it goes back to, I don't want it in my neighborhood, and fighting the stigma and getting people that can look into their own lives, their own family, their own friends, and see that this is something that does affect them.
But yeah, you know, I'm not asking for people to change their minds overnight. I'm just asking, give us a chance to change your mind.